Cutie Map.
This is Cutie Map Part 1.
Taylor, it's your episode.
The first episode I boarded on for Pony.
My first new episode.
And it was the first time I'd ever storyboarded a song. And I thought that was going to be the hard bit, but it actually was something else that we'll talk about.
Yeah, and I think this is the intro of the castle, a design that we inherited from Brand. We didn't love it, but we did our best to make it work. If you were in the guest of honor panel this morning, we talked a bit about how annoying it is to stage stuff in a circular room. The throne room, perfect example. This was a real pain in the butt.
The other thing about it is the chair backs are so high that if you try to do an over-the-shoulder shot, you can't see anyone. So you're kind of required to do these weird, wide shots. There's a lot of empty space.
And the chairs are kind of like weird dog beds, which is strange as well. I don't know. It was a weird choice, but we did our best to make it work.
Yeah. Again, inherited from Brand, which is why it's not thought out in a way that actually is nice to draw and nice to look at.
You know, the whole concept behind this originally was sort of a Knights of the Round Table kind of thing, and having them have a space to meet and deal with the problems in Equestria together.
Oh, I forgot their butts light up!
If I get anything wrong or forget, again, it's been 5 years since the show ended. I worked on 2 whole other shows since then, and my head is broken.
I was told, how do we do that rotation?
Flash magic.
Some flash wizard.
So here we introduce the whole map of Equestria. I think this is there had been some stuff in a book where we had seen a map. You guys can all sing if you want.
I used to wonder what friendship could be, my little pony. You all shared its magic with me. The adventures are fun. Our beautiful hearts, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness is easy to be, and magic makes it all complete. Come on, do you know you're all my very best friends?
So when we made some changes in the previous season, we updated the title sequence as little as possible because it was expensive.
Devin,
Cody, our producer.
Love working with Devin. Oh wait, it's
Larson.
Yeah, it's Larson on this one.
How dare you?
I think it was more of a Monty Python joke.
So trying to figure out how to explain visually how they would be summoned by the map was a fun problem to solve when we figured out this.
This is Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, so Megan was involved in this as well. There's my name.
There's you. That's your name, Jim. I don't get top billing because I just boarded on it.
We didn't credit.
No, you guys, no, not till the end.
Every show's different. Some shows they let you credit the board artist at the front, some they don't.
Well, I was planning on organizing my baking sheets, but okay. Very well.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about this because this was not my section here.
So the board artists on this were Katrina and Corey Toomey, and Katrina did the back end. So usually on a 22-minute episode, you would have 2 board artists, each responsible for about 11 minutes of content each.
Although I had to come to the thumbnail meeting, so I had to sit through you talking for like a good 6 hours.
That's your whole life.
Yeah. Jim talking for 6 hours.
Rookie card, sweet talk, right into
Bro, that hat does not fit. That is way too big.
Because of the bronze on his hand.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, look at that sheet where it goes behind the hill and then it changes direction.
Watch it happen again.
Oh, here it comes.
There it goes. Yay! And a line.
Quickest stop ever. And get out. And
See how they don't actually
goodbye.
It's hard to do.
Exactly.
Everything.
There's no big turntable to turn that train around. It just reverses all the way back.
I think this is where my section starts.
Yes.
No, here's a little
No, is it later?
Let's get down there and find the fall. Wait,
You're right, it's later.
why the map?
See, I don't remember.
We should just walk right in.
So after the big epic season 4 finale fight with T-Rex, there was a lot of discussions of like, what do we do in season 5? And that's why this episode is a lot more psychological than action-based, and there was a lot of discussions about, okay, if being a pony is all about being unique and being yourself, what would be a hard thing for them to deal with, and that's where we get this village of equality where everyone's forced to be the same. It's not about comedy.
You know what's really handy about Pegasus is that it can fly, so when you're trying to cram 5 characters into a shot, you can just make them fly up above everybody else. Oh yeah, I remember getting used to boarding for Pony was getting used to trying to do compositions really horizontally because they're so short and forward. And I was used to kind of having like a lot of characters but really like long and tall.
Right.
Creepy smile.
Cutie marks.
One of the other things we did with the townsfolk too was we dulled down all their colors. And when you watch the second half, of course, and they get their unique personalities, those colors pop back.
Did you just turn down the saturation on the?
No, I think they were.
Or no, did you do the tint? Because sometimes we would do the tint.
No, I don't think, because the tinting was an After Effects thing and it was just too many shots.
Oh, so
I think we went in and adjusted the builds.
Had 2 builds. Had an instance.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Not creepy at all.
No, not at
Oh God, no. Welcome.
all. Oh, that looks like Starlight's hair. Did Starlight had hair like bangs like?
Well, yeah, well, it's that sort of really matronly bang.
Princess of Friendship.
Well, you've certainly come to the right place for friendship.
Judy's after rarity.
I didn't realize this was party favor.
Double diamond.
Right.
And this year's Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Twilight Sparkle.
And you all have your own unique cutie marks.
Creep? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
If I catch anyone looking at my butt that close at this con, I'll be real mad.
Never had trouble in our little village. It's true. You'll see.
It's true.
Perhaps you care to speak to our founder, Starlight Glimmer.
I wish everyone in Equestria was as friendly as these homes are.
You poor naive baby. I do love that Pinky's immediately suspicious.
She was the one who would be.
Yeah.
She knows her smile.
Exactly.
Yeah, she knows.
She can tell dead eyes.
Yeah.
She hangs out with Maud.
Oh no, it's the end of the movie.
How many people here actually like the addition of Starlight to the show?
Correct, you are correct.
It was a nice way for us to really explore similar themes with a new character who would react to new or familiar situations that our character's already gone through. We wouldn't want to necessarily see that story again, so having this character who doesn't know these things, you can learn some of the same lessons
We were
again.
actually talking backstage about how Kelly had just come off of Barbie.
Yeah, Kelly had just come off of playing Barbie for a bunch of CG shows, and I think she really had a good time playing a bad guy.
Experience true friendship for the first time.
I don't like the look. I don't like that nail.
Around here, we don't flaunt our special talents because we don't have any special talents to flaunt. Is that right?
We were originally hoping to see more of Starlight in the background of episodes throughout the season leading up to the finale after she runs off.
Oh boy, here we go.
The way we were hoping.
Okay, so this is where I came in.
You did the song.
And I was so furious because I had to board it in Flash. And so I would draw the drawings in Sketchbook and then I would like import them into Flash and then time them out. And it takes a really long time. It takes like double the time than normally.
We wouldn't do it that way today.
No.
At the time, this is how we did it. Super hard.
And it was the first time working on Pony and I had to do a song. So yeah, I think I did okay.
I think it turned out. Did you guys like how this song turned out?
Like,
Because we were using the same bodies for the majority of the ponies, that allowed us to really build on our library of expressions each season. So that's why as the show goes along, you get even crazier and crazier expressions.
Yeah.
If you never dream.
Yeah, Pinky is not into it. This was my favorite storyboarding.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah,
I'm into the way you draw.
It's funny how like you can watch an episode and know who worded it just based on how they pose and expressions with the character.
Shots they do.
Yeah, kind of shots they do. It's like weird handwriting.
I think some of the layout and animation people didn't mind the sort of dancing and unison because in Flash it's easy to sort of repurpose.
And I didn't mind it because I just copy pasted a lot of drawings. Because it's a lot of characters to handle.
Oh, look at that! It's an equal sign.
Oh my god! Yay! So you think that would have been the hardest part of the episode to board? Well, it's me. But I think coming up is.
It's a little bit further ahead.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. They have to go in the basement.
You have to go in the basement and then they have to.
I like that part because I gotta do horror shows.
You get to do torture.
I guess we're just a little confused by all of this. We have no judgments here in our village.
Yeah, okay.
Each of us was blinded by our cutie marks. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh no.
For real? When we were
There's lots of dirty looks in this show.
help in some way. Well, it doesn't seem like you need any help. Have you considered perhaps that you might have been sent here so we can help you? After all, nobody has ever come to our village and wanted to leave. Why should you be after us? But that is entirely
Every time you see Pinkie Pie, she's just so angry.
So
Pie is not having it.
Just raging.
no doubt you believe as well. Double Diamond, please help our guests with whatever they might need.
Of course.
This will certainly provide a boost to our little community. When the rest of Equestria sees that a
question here is, what's the village actually called?
cutie mark to join,
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
It's called Our Town.
Yeah, it's called.
trying to come. Welcome.
See, now
I think that welcome was me. Don't tell anybody.
Welcome. Carrots, samples of local medicine. We've got clothes this month.
Another time, good sir. Thank you.
This scene. Well, is it this scene?
This is the one.
Evil.
We need things a bit
So when I came on, they were like, "Which section do you want to do?" I'm like, "Oh, we'll do the table scene. It's not a lot of posing. It'll be easy." No, stupid choice. Really hard.
Because they're on very distinct sides of the street.
And then we're on distinct sides of the table.
why the map sent us.
And so it was really hard to make sure that I kept the screen direction correct. So, you know, if Twilight's on the right, then she always has to be on the right. Well, they're on the left, but if everyone else is on the left, they have to be on the left. And then we're cutting in and out in between them and over the shoulders, and it was...
And there's a lot of characters.
And it's a lot of just exposition. So it's like, how do I keep this moving without...
And visually interesting.
Yeah, without being too cutty, without cutting too much, and... Yeah.
Like this in front of our new friends. Really, Alan Jack, you're almost as bad as Rainbow Dash. Don't threaten!
Slander!
My turn.
We never let a disagreement get in the way of food! Okay, well,
Yeah, same.
sugar bell.
Yeah,
What
I
can
love
bring
food.
you? We have muffins.
We have muffins. We have terrible muffins.
They look like they're made from mud. She brings them out.
I totally forgot.
We've got to stick together.
When you're
It doesn't
done.
matter what happened before. We're here now.
I guess you're right. And the sooner we figure out why, the sooner we can go home.
Gross.
Forgive me for interfering.
Do you think that the smoke coming off them is from heat or stink?
Yes.
Yes.
Stinky heat.
Women have such differing opinions and cutie marks.
Steam hands?
I also really like drawing the characters with the buns, because then they don't have all that mane to do.
We are friends. A
Flopping
simple
around.
disagreement wouldn't change that. I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time understanding. Different talents lead to different opinions.
Try to give her dead eyes there. She's like, I'm reciting the thing.
You're too bitter and...
Speaking of bitter.
Oh my god.
What do you guys think they taste like other than steamed corn? What is the most equal tasting food?
It's horrible.
Love shavings, there you go.
Well, I hope you enjoy our village. Before you go, meet me downstairs. Okay, that was weird too. Let's all sit here and eat these muffins and act normal. I think we're being watched.
This is kind of hard to do. Characters being watched by other characters and that.
I
Yeah.
was talking to Sugar.
Yeah, it's really hard to get that sort of direct, pointed eye direction stuff.
I got an idea, but you gotta eat all that
It's like
muffins,
North Korea,
Pinky.
like your camerawork.
Don't offend any of us.
Does that mean that if anyone else ate them, they would die?
They're being immobilized.
Bunged up.
Can't believe you ate all our muffins, Pinkie Pie. You best go inside and get some more.
You are a terrible, terrible.
Yay, horror movie time. I can't remember how many of these gags were in the script and how many we talked
Yeah, I
about.
can't remember either.
Coming.
Because a lot of times they're not written in, we actually
that
just
guy.
do them.
Why don't you all come down here? So no pony can see what's about to happen.
Creepy paper.
Princess of Friendship? Do you know Princess Celestia? I love
See the ones? Wow, just
That took that.
you know.
Even just one day, make something besides those disgusting muffins.
Oh, she does.
Go with Duffy. Go get your cutie marks back.
Yeah.
Daydreaming is one thing, but you mean actually having it put back on? That seems extreme.
Yeah, bro.
She wants us all to be happy in our sameness.
How do you take some pony's cutie mark anyway?
The cutie unmarking is a beautiful experience. Starlight
Oh, that's Rebecca.
I think it's Rebecca, yeah.
Magic take them away. And then
Rebecca, Vincent, and Brian are the
But no
Yeah, well,
pony
just
should keep you from
Rebecca's
your
both.
mark.
both.
Yeah, that's right.
Such an essential part of who you are. Oh, we're not kept from them. They're in the vault, up in the caves. We can visit them anytime we like to remind us of the heartache of a life with special talents.
That's not psychologically damaging.
I don't know, we'd be a pretty good career artist special talent.
Interested in our
Here's where Rainbow Dash's head comes completely off. You looked at that shot 5 million times, you never noticed it until it went out on the air.
I think I see Fluttershy's hair breaking through.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I wish we could go back and fix.
Nicole crashing.
Go back to pick. Too late now. It's on the air.
That's just it. It would cost lots and lots of money to open it up.
Millions of dollars. Literally millions of dollars to redo.
Behold! Behold!
Yay, I love a rotating shot. Ooh, chess champion.
Never seen anything.
Who's the one who's really good at balloon animals?
Just balloon animals.
It was one of the great Mage Meadow books, 9 and
Who's the rubber ducky? What is that about?
It was just a thing. We had to fill
I
out
know,
all
like,
these cutie marks.
Okay, so you're just like, what are you good at fast? You good at
Squeaking?
bathing?
How do you want to drunk?
Maybe they're a duck raiser. Like they. Where's the ladybug?
Oh, duck farmer.
The ladybug is an arsonist.
Damn it, Pinky!
Birthday! Well, it seems you inspired all sorts
Dang it,
of
Pinky,
free
you
thinking,
fool!
don't you?
Free thinking.
This was still my section.
Tend to cause
Mage Meadowbrook, a character we ended up bringing back later as Pillars, who was name checked too.
Oh yeah? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, very cold. It's a trap! It's a trap!
And now we do the torture.
I imagine it probably feels like, or just ripping a Band-Aid off real quick.
Yeah, but your whole nerve comes with it.
I guess so.
It's like an eyeball.
Yeah.
That's canon now.
Dun, dun, dun.
She did.
Why did you fight?
We should have given them all the same hair as the villagers when they lost their kitty.
Yeah, but did you have money for that?
No, we didn't.
That would have been cool if they
tried
done.
to do here today. You've spent your whole lives thinking those marks are a good thing. Give them back! Well, now you can spend the rest of your lives here with us. And we'll teach you just how much better life can be.
I'm trying to look at more
without
cameras. What
your
else? Is that a fire hydrant?
That guy's really good at peeing on fire.
It's canon.
It's canon.
Wait, where's my name? No, not yet. There it is!
Okay, well,
Oh man, watching this is like, oh, that's my friend.
I remember that friend. That's that guy. Oh, remember that? I remember that person. Now that we've watched an episode, did anyone have questions about?
Wait, who can't see us if we sit down here, Jim?
Can people not see, or should we stand up
Do
on
you
the
want us to
stage?
stand up there? Can we see?
You don't need to see us. You can just hear us.
Yeah, you know what we look like.
Go ahead.
So, you may have answered this a minute ago.
That's all right.
Was there ever a name come up with for that village? Or was it
The joke was that it was called Our Town. Especially with the idea of it being an equal village, and I would see Starlight telling
was
everyone,
the-
like, it's our village, our town, get it? It all belongs to us.
Did we have an asset name for it, or was it just like two?
No,
or
it was
like
probably called
501
Starlight's
Town?
Village or something.
501 Town.
Yeah, exactly.
501 Town exterior.
And you can ask, you can also ask questions about other episodes. You may need to remind me, because it's
Yeah.
been a long time. Or Equestria Girl stuff, Katrina can
I know
ask.
some stuff.
Yeah, you pick someone there.
I think it's, I don't know if it's part 2 of this one or when they go back to the village, there's a scene where they're searching for something and Applejack bursts into the room and knocks a bottle off of the table.
Yeah.
Did you board that?
No, because I
The
would have.
second half was boarded by, so each episode would have 2 different board artists.
Yeah.
So that was probably Christine Cunningham or Dave Weeb, I don't remember. They are the ones who did
That
the
sounds like a
second
weeb joke.
episode. That does sound like a
Yeah, we call
Weeb.
Dave Weeb. His name is Dave Weeb, so we just call him Weeb.
There was a lot of Daves, so
Yeah.
they often just call them, yeah. Yes,
That's
sir,
why we
over
laughed
here.
at Dave all the time.
Yes. Oh, thank you for standing.
Out of all the scripts, which one changed the most from what was written to what actually got released?
It was that the one in the diner, right, with the.
They're asking my brain to jump back in time so far. I honestly can't remember. I'd have to
That was
go
one
through.
that you had to restructure a bit. Like, it wasn't that you rewrote it, but I think you
There was some reordering of the sequence of events. I don't remember what episode it was. I'm sorry.
I wanna say
like I
it's
said,
like-
I've had 2 other complete shows information in my brain.
I want to say it's one of the Rashomon ones.
Which one is that?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. You go.
There in the black. Yes, you.
I was thinking, I told Nene Larson, I thought a natural name for that town would have been North Corestria.
Yeah, but then, we get in trouble with some broadcasters.
But there's not enough of a horse pun in that. It would have to be like North Horia. That sounds bad. That sounds real bad.
Stalingrad.
It's not a communist thing. Stalingrad. There you go. That's much better. Yes, sir.
We only have 3 or 4 certain specific domain styles.
Yes.
And as far as like in North Korea, women are only allowed to wear their hair in like 3 or 4 different styles. And I was wondering if that's where you got that from.
No, the reason for that is budget.
Budget.
So that we could repurpose, it would be different enough. It would give that sense of unity among people, and you can just recolor them a million different colors and you don't have to do a brand new build. Sometimes the reasons for these kinds of things are really boring.
Yeah.
They're not clever. It's really like, yeah, we couldn't afford to do more. Sorry, guys.
And I think we saw it more as a cult thing. If you look at a lot of cult groups, they have a lot of kind of homogeny in the way they dress and stuff.
Everyone has like a David Koresh haircut.
Yeah.
So like Jonestown, but less suicide.
What was your favorite thing to work on for Rainbow Rocks?
For Rainbow Rocks? Ooh. Probably anytime the Dazzlings were walking around. Because when I first got my hands on it, I think it was all boarded by dudes. And so they all were like, they're walking, that's fine, but they had no hips. They did not have
some strut.
They needed some strut. So I think anytime I could add some strut in there, that was good. I don't know, because I was a revisionist on Rainbow Rocks. I was not.
You also
oh wait, no, what am I talking
You're
about?
not a revisionist on that.
The kitchen scene.
Yeah.
The kitchen scene was my favorite scene. See, I don't remember anything.
And you did like the art at the end and the credits.
Yeah, but the kitchen scene was the best because it was kind of like the crux of it all. And I liked that they were vulnerable, and I got to do a bit of like shadow work, and I got to do a bit of that like crosstalk where like Sunset's in the fridge rummaging around and Twilight sitting behind her. That was really good. Yeah. All right.
In the derby hat?
Oh. Yeah, my question is, did you ever have an issue with I think it's standards and practices for any episodes?
Are you asking for just one?
What's one that you can remember off the top of your head?
That was, I mean,
Sorry, was there more to that question? Like in
Sorry, I
a
cut you off.
particular part or just in general?
My bad. I guess if there's anything you could just remember from the top of your head. Of
Sure,
like the
there's
biggest
a lot. One of the dumb things, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Dumb things. Stemmed glassware we weren't allowed to have because that means alcohol. to them.
Alcohol.
If a glass had a paper umbrella in it, that meant alcohol. Can't do that.
If
Characters
it
can't
had
drink.
fruits in it, it was
Like
alcohol.
on the rim, it looked like alcohol. If they didn't want characters drinking soda pop, so they would drink juice boxes.
Same sugar
Same
count.
amount of sugar. Like the problem was the amount of sugar, and they just
Same
weird
amount
stuff.
of sugar.
All the fight sequences, no one could get punched in the face. Body shots, fine. Face, no go.
Mine drove me nuts was the way they let girls eat or don't eat. No eating, ladies. You don't want to get fat. So we had this one. I think it was. I can't remember which special. I don't know if it was one of the specials or it was one of the shorts. And Rarity's having a sad, and we built her this giant sundae. Like absolutely, like no one could eat this in real life at all. There's no way it was the size of a horse. And so she's yum yum yum, and we got a note like, no, we can't have her eating that because we don't want girls to get the impression they can eat their feelings. First of all, ladies, eat your feelings. It's great. I encourage that. So we made it a normal size sundae, which then was like, okay, but now she's actually eating her feelings because before it was like a joke. There's no way she could eat a sundae that big. So it totally took the scene from something funny to something a little too real. Which was really weird, but we had a lot of kind of like.
And then there were weird double standards because we did
I like
a
the
similar.
life jacket one where you dump Yona in the lake and she had to wear the life jacket and was drowning.
Oh yeah.
That
Because it's
was
always like if you just reminded me of another one. There was an episode where the Cutie Map Crusaders are doing a thing, and I think it was Scootaloo was doing a bungee jumping off the stage, and we were like, standards is not going to let us do this, so she had knee pads, elbow pads, a helmet, goggles, a spotter. Like we just made it a joke because we knew like every time they would do something active, like they need a helmet, they need knee pads,
they need elbow pads,
all sorts of dumb stuff.
I had one that was a different show. It wasn't Pony, but what I thought was quite funny because it's often a kind of weird double standard. So of course, like if the characters are skateboarding, like gotta have their helmets, gotta have their knee pads. Later on in the episode, this character crawls into
show.
Who's Edgar and Ellen?
Oh, okay.
They crawl into like the engine of a running like backhoe.
And that was fun.
And that was fun! fine.
There was, I don't remember the show, but there was a show where they wanted everyone to be wearing mouth guards when they did a thing, and we're like, how are they supposed to talk? Anyway.
How do you know also? Yeah. It's
anyway. Gentleman in the green shirt over here.
One thing that I noticed from the Our Town song, I'll wait for the microphone.
I'm not that old, I can hear you.
People at home might not. So one thing that I noticed from the Our Town song was that there was a lot of unison in that. And harmony was one of the big themes of the show. And it's not just harmony of the music, but the fact in general that the whole is greater than the sum of parts. Was there going to be more unison versus harmony contrast in terms of the dialogue or the theming in Twilight's Village versus the main six?
No, that was pretty much it. You should have been a writer on the show. That would have been interesting. A lot of it is like when you're sitting down to board it, because it doesn't have a lot of those sort of visual things in the script. It'll just be like, there's a song and this is what the song is about. And then you have to figure out like, how do we visually convey the theme of the song or the story? So you're right, like there could have been more of a contrast of like, what's the difference between unison and harmony? Because in that instance, it's kind of the same.
Also, don't forget, I had to draw that in about 4 days. All of it, right? And then, because you know, you get 6 weeks to do a storyboard, you have 2 weeks for thumbnails. Songs take double the time.
Yeah, they're
so
very
I had
hard.
to cram in the rest of what I was working on for the episode, and then that song took up almost a week of my time. And then I'd have to go clean it up. So it's, you know, over 1,000 panels in 3 weeks. So part of it is time constraints. I would have loved to do more of that contrasting, like maybe break up the main six and have them, you know, be different. But I mean, the most I could do was pose them at different levels and different head heights. And,
oftentimes, the best you can do is your first pass plus some revisions to make it work better. You don't necessarily get to do multiple drafts of a thing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Maybe you pick someone.
Red shirt.
Oh, wait, microphone. So I noticed the Our Town song, you said you storyboarded for it. It is a march, and I just wondered if you had any point in that decision-making process to make it a march, and if you found that more difficult or easier than like generic pop
to draw it as a march, you mean?
Yeah.
I think Jason gave me some. So what happens is your director usually gives you like, here's some ideas for how we want some of the visuals to go, like some basic overview, so you're not just coming in cold.
And the style of the song is
very
set before it even goes to the board artist. So the board artists get a demo version, not a full orchestrated version of the song.
Actually,
and we
you know
knew it was
what?
going to be a march.
Yeah, you guys will love this. I did watch some North Korea, marching videos and like coordinated like marching band, like not marching band, but like kind of like that
drumline stuff.
Drumline and synchronized and stuff like that. But again,
not that those are communist or anything.
No, but again, I had to cram in, I had to do it real fast. So, but yeah, it does help too because you have that beat. So I'm like, okay, it's 1, 2, 2. So I knew how to pose.
It does help set like a rhythm for like how you pace your cuts and where you put your cuts, and how you having those characters marching to the beat of the song as opposed to maybe the pop song where you're finding specific moments instead of all the way through.
Yeah.
Way at the back, purple hair.
That's Rarity. It's Camp Rarity. Oh my God, it's just perfect. It's like show accurate. Yes.
Okay. Well, I had a question because I know you boarded life as a runway.
I did.
So, I love the way you draw legs. And me too.
Because legs are fun to draw.
At what point in the production were the costumes that they were wearing for that design? Did you make them or was someone else in charge of that?
I think those might have been a brand design that I cannot remember. It wouldn't have been me, it would have been on our design team, probably Cora or...
Yeah, how it usually works is we would have a design department.
We have a design department, so we have like an art director, and then we have like a character designer. So the character designer usually takes care of all the outfits. And then sometimes we'd have, for certain outfits, we'd have someone from brand send us what they thought they were gonna make a doll out of. So then we'd have to take that, and it was normally like, now I love a drag queen. I love it. I love how over the top it is. But this was like a drag queen got put into a blender with another drag queen and then got barfed out. And oftentimes it was like a million plaids, a million patterns, a million things everywhere, ruffles, see-through. Stuff was completely unanimatable. And so we'd have to...
Over the top, complicated.
Complicated, and you can't move it. So we'd have to kind of take the essence of that and like figure that out in that way. And that outfit might have been...
It's probably Cora.
I think it was internal. I think it was Cora. Cora was the master of EG outfits. Yeah.
The thing with those designs, like on the main series, Hasbro would usually have a handful of specific things that they wanted to see in a season. So like once, I think it was season 7 or 8, they wanted this swan boat.
Yeah.
And then put this stupid swan boat, and they don't care.
They don't care.
It was great because they were like, just put it in somewhere, we're making a toy of it. So we were doing an episode where they're in Manhattan, we put it in the canal in the park, they were happy. Another one, they were putting in they were making a helicopter tour.
And ours were all clothes. Ours were all like, because we had Dance
We would
Magic.
get clothes sometimes,
we
too.
had Dance Magic. Those were all like brand outfits, like the disco and the thing, which was, and they were like, we're gonna make a doll. So we're like, okay, they're weird. We did it, and then they didn't make a doll. We're like, really?
Something similar happened to us with they were so hands-on for the Super Ponies episode. They wanted to make those toys so bad, and the amount of like back and forth revisions on the designs with Hasbro, and then it was like 3 or 4 years before the toys ever came out, and they were just repaints over existing toys.
Anyway, you look amazing. Oh my God, presents!
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love it. You even got the floofs and the lace and the stuff and the shoes and everything. I love it. Okay, who's next? Am I
Thank
picking?
you. You go ahead.
Plaid shirt.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Give your arm a rest.
All right. Let's see. My question might seem a bit bland. It's a.
It better not be. It's my favorite pony.
No, it's not that. It's a twofer thing. It's like, what were your favorite episodes to work on versus your most hated?
Anything with crowds.
I don't want to say a most hated because my most hated may be someone's favorite.
It's more for me. It was like, what is technically, well, not technically, but what is time consuming for something that gives you a little, like a small amount of screen time.
Sometimes they're really challenging in ways that you wouldn't anticipate them to be. But
like, I got the 100th episode made me so angry. I hate it because we had to put like, what was it, like 25 ponies on that
speakers.
The speakers.
Oh, yeah.
And tracking that it's not interesting to draw. And it's
math.
It's fun to watch, but it's not fun to draw. But then I really liked how it turned out. I'm actually pretty proud of that section.
That's how it works sometimes.
So yeah, it was really hard, and I was mad the whole time, and I complained to you the whole time.
One of the other things,
it was cool.
things like in the finale of the show, like the second to last episode when all the ponies come over the hill. Flash doesn't like a lot of characters.
No.
We had to split that shot into 3 separate shots that were then combined into one in After Effects. And the more characters you put in a shot, the more likely the shot will crash or fail.
Not render. Yeah.
So stuff like that's a real pain in the ass. And because it's our own damn fault, because we would make the show as cinematic as we could, and every season we were sort of upping the game so that when we would send it to Hasbro, they'd be like, more characters!
Wait, wasn't it, use your DHX magic.
Oh yeah, that was in the script.
That's when they didn't want to write an action scene, they just like, use your DHX magic. I'm like, so you're gonna give me nothing? You mean no? Alright, I guess I'll do what I want. It better be what you like. But yeah, what I like to do, I like doing the emotional scenes. I like doing anything that required a lot of subtle acting and facial expression.
I like the comedy stuff a lot. Like, if I can think of a funny joke to amp up what's already there, I find that weirdly satisfying, especially when you show it to your crew and they're like, ah, that's pretty good. Like, they don't feel like you're taking away something from them by beefing it up.
Yeah.
Way at the back, over there with the wings, I saw your hand up. Did you have a question? Or were you just stretching?
I was fixing the wings.
That's fine. We'll jump over here.
So,
from a kind of a, how often did you know, like, okay, yeah, we'll have another season while you're working on the previous one, and like, did that affect long-term planning? Like, because when Starlight's introduced, right, I understand the long-term plan was to have her basically become another protagonist, and therefore it was almost like, okay, we're going to have her here in season 5, and then in season 6 she's going to become protagonist. Was that already planned, or was that something you had to do by year?
It was weirdly a combination. Like the first 2 or 3 seasons, it was always very touch and go. Like we would finish a season and we were not sure. And then we got picked up. Like season 3, when they only picked it up for 13, we were like, well, I guess this is the end of the ride here, kids. Seasons 4 and 5 were pretty similar, but then at one point, we were working on 3 seasons at the same time in various stages, which is super hard. It was brutal. We were finishing 6 in the middle of 7 and starting 8. And once we got to sort of like the later seasons, there was a little bit more planning for not necessarily like long term, but maybe something that we could carry over into the next season. But like, I remember trying to pitch the idea in season 7 that we would just introduce the concept of the pillars in that season, and we wouldn't actually get to see adventures with them until season 8. But the executives wanted the seasons to feel a little bit more self-contained. So there was always that kind of push and pull about like, they never really wanted to end stuff on a major cliffhanger. Because I had pitched this idea of, in season 7, that Starlight and sort of the new crew of her pals were summoned by the map to go to different directions. So Starlight and her crew went one way, and Twilight and her gang went the other way, and ended up involving the Pony of Shadows, trying to build this body to inhabit and all this stuff. And they ended up, it was a way to have these 2 crews of friends at odds at the end of the season, and that Twilight and the gang would have to fight Starlight and Derpy, and I can't remember everyone who was in her crew. Trixie, yeah. I thought that would be fun, but they didn't like the idea that it would end on this cliffhanger, because the Pony of Shadows was supposed to get away, and then the next season they would have to round up all the artifacts to bring the pillars back to help defeat them, blah, blah, blah. So I understand why they wanted to do that. But my comic book brain is like, we can make it an event. So yeah, it's always a bit of a mix.
EG was like, we never knew what was going on. They would script come in like an unboxing video. Oh, we're doing apps. Oh, okay. I'm trying to make that entertaining. So yeah, but we were kind of like the weird test subject. So
your turn to pick.
Well, as you had pointed out the episode before with the rear shot of Starlight and how, a bunch of the shots with the dazzlings, you added a bit of hip movement. Were there any moments where you were like, okay, yeah, the shot looks good, and then you were told, no, make it less sexy?
All the time.
There was some
and
times,
it was never stuff that we thought we'd done sexy. It was
there
always
was a
like
few times
really
at boards where I'd have to tell certain board artists, you
down.
can't have that many butt shots.
There was also a little like tone down the chest.
The boob action in the Equestria Girls.
Yeah, had to be a little on the.
It's still, as much as grown-ups like it, which is amazing, it's not aimed at grown-ups, so it needed to work for the target audience. So
often it was usually like a single pose, like maybe sitting on the ground, not cross-legged, but if you weren't.
Well, a perfect example is the show I just finished directing with these 3D strawberry shortcake specials that are on Netflix. One of the things we did was, because she had a skirt, but she's doing a lot of jumping around, so we made her underpants super hot pink. That way, when you're reviewing animation, if you see that color, you know a change has to be made to that shot so it doesn't look as suggestive, right? You're not seeing up in that area. So
we got called more on expressions, so like the half-lid eyes.
Yeah, they thought that looked stoned.
No, it's too suggestive. It's giving that sexy look. Hello. Yeah, bedroom eyes. Too much bedroom eyes. Got called on that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Harry?
Yeah, this episode, it seemed like quite mature themes, like communism.
Not communism, it's a cult.
No, Hasbro never, like again, I don't, in my opinion, I don't feel like Hasbro corporate was necessarily paying too much attention to what we were doing.
As long as the toy stuff
As long
was
as
in
the
there,
toys sold.
they're fine.
And our executives at Hasbro that we were dealing with, like Megan and Liza and Brian and Mike, they were all on board for us trying to push things a little bit forward. The story editors were on board for pushing things, and it was always a bit of a test, right? Can we do this kind of story? Does it make sense? Will our audience react to it? And if, we got 4 more seasons after it, so we must have done something right.
And kids aren't stupid. You can introduce complex concepts to them in a way that they can understand. They might not understand all the depth and nuance of it as you do as an adult, but they'll understand like the baseline. So there's no reason not to give them stories that they're gonna encounter out in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There in the black. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In season 1, Fluttershy and Twilight are trying to take care of Philomena, the pet phoenix, who they didn't know wasn't dying. There's a Benny Hill bit in there. And I'm 32, so I barely know what Benny Hill is from like Family Guy. Did you ever? How did Hasbro play in terms of notes and S&P with regards to referencing live things like things?
As long as we didn't tell them what the reference was. Like we got in trouble because we would often, do ponies based loosely for legal reasons on real life people. Like there's Penn and Teller pony, there's a Celine Dion pony.
There's a Red Letter Media pony.
Yeah, exactly. Gordon Ramsay. And they often didn't clock it. There was one time design went in and the artist left the reference picture in on the thing, and we forgot to take it off, and they're like, you can't do this. And there was real like, we get in trouble for all the ones they don't know about? But
there was a lot of, let's do this and see if they notice.
Yeah, like at the end
it's a lot of ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Yeah. Like, they're not going to know that the end of, was it season 1, the ceremony at the end is shot for shot, the end of A New Hope? Like, shot for shot. They don't know.
It was
Don't tell them.
It was a lot harder for us on EG because they're human, so we couldn't get away with caricatures because we couldn't call it
satire.
Satire because they're not horses. Although we did get away with George A. Romero as one of the directors, and Joss Whedon.
Yeah, that one's.
I know that one did not age well.
Yeah.
But anyway, George A. Romero's in there.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, sir. At the cap here, USSF.
Oh yes. So you did a lot of very deep things in this episode, and the next episode has psychological torture. Was this controversial to make, or was there an episode that was particularly behind the scenes controversial to make?
No, we're all weirdos. I think everyone's on board. Again, we had an amazing crew of people who were willing to go on the ride and see where it went. To my recollection, there was never an instance of an episode where people were upset.
I'd say too, we're adults working on this. We're not kids. So, you come in with your adult sensibilities and you have to tone it down to the kid level sometimes. So it's more interesting because as most animation artists, you're working on, I've been working preschool the last 5 years. So stuff like this is really satisfying to work on because you actually get to deal with real, more kind of, not adult, but
more mature
themes instead of just my friend is mad at me today, or whatever.
My shoelace is untied.
My shoelace is untied. Yeah, so it's. I think that's why usually when we were all on board behind the scenes.
I mean, of course, there may have been small things that came up that people were concerned about certain things, but we were pretty open to, or at least I like to think we were pretty open to hearing people's concerns and having a discussion and making changes if necessary. But I don't remember a big half the studio's ready to walk out the door because they're not happy with such and such.
Well, you can't anyway because you gotta pay your mortgage.
Yeah, that's it.
Or your rent.
Your turn.
Okay, who do I got? They're in the cute socks.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you for the compliment.
Well, they're cute songs.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I have my question written down.
That's fine.
If I could unlock my phone, that'd be great. So I wanted to ask if you had any information on the decision of making Trixie Starlight's best friend.
Yeah, we pitched it just because they didn't seem like they worked on paper, but when we tried it out in the first episode, we put them together, thinking like, yeah, maybe this will be a one-off. And then Kathleen and Kelly together were just so damn funny. It was so fun seeing them play off each other because they're both trying to be better, right? But they're not good at it. And that was just so satisfying to work. It's very odd couple. Like Trixie's so laissez-faire, not very thoughtful in how she reacts to things sometimes, and Starlight overreacts to everything. Had that fun odd couple vibe. I don't think we would have kept doing it if it hadn't worked that first time. It was like the success of the first one made it enticing enough to revisit and revisit and revisit. So,
thank you.
You're welcome. Way in the back over there. Yes, sir.
So, like, when it came to corporate,
yeah,
did they have any really just out of left field stupid kind of requirements?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also, did they also have a blacklist of characters you weren't allowed to have in the backgrounds?
Pooh Bell.
Oh yeah, Pooh Bell. Pooh Bell was the chubby pony that was in that one episode.
Whoa, Nelly?
We wanted to do more with her because we loved her. She was a doodle that one of the designers did.
It was Charmaine, right?
Charmaine, who later worked on Craig of the Creek. She did this drawing we thought was amazing. We wanted to put her in the episode. We put her in the episode, and then Hasbro got really touchy that they thought we were making fun of fat people, or that we were encouraging eating disorders. Because we wanted to do this whole episode where she ends up becoming a model for Rarity, and Rarity has to learn how to make plus size clothing and how beauty comes in all shapes and sizes.
Because bigger bodies exist.
Yeah, I'm a bigger guy.
And if you guys don't know, we're together.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I was like, I gotta have some of
Come
that.
on, shut up.
Gotta have some of that.
We have to wrap this up, guys.
I know. Anyway, so Pooh Bell, and they mixed
that one, and then the other one was, Derpy was persona Pony non grata for a while. But we managed to get her back in.
I have the one where the girl with the really thick glasses. We had an incident with really thick glasses, and we had that Pinkie Pie song episode where she gets the nerd guy together with the other nerd girl, and the really thick Coke bottle glasses girl with the red hair was in the initial love interest. Yeah. But they said, oh no, her glasses are so thick, you're making fun of people with glasses. I'm like, people with thick glasses exist, they can't get a date? Yeah. Weird. But I mean, I had personal rules about background characters because they pull focus from the main.
Sometimes you don't want to throw Derpy in a scene that's important because everyone's just going to be looking at Derpy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting the signal here to wrap it up. So thank you everyone for coming. And we'll see you around the time the rest of the weekend. Thank you so much.